Welcome back to another video. Today I'm explaining Chaos from Seven Deadly Sins and the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, as Chaos is exhibiting or performing in Arthur Pendragon's body, and of course is helping Arthur's Pendragon's delusion of just a full human empire that is completely erased from the other five races. Of course, Chaos is a primordial that will create the world, the five races, and even the gods. It is described by Merlin as an impure entity of darkness that even demons fear, and of course, the goddess worship, as it was the first thing before everything else. It created each and everything. And of course, it was sealed away by its two creations, the King of Kings and Supreme Deity. As now, years later, it became a legend as the balance of light and darkness was maintained of the sealing of the Demon Kings and Supreme Deity, as when the Demon King's death happened, the balance was broken and allowing Merlin to awaken Chaos in Arthur, or at least have Arthur as a vessel for Chaos. Of course, now Chaos itself is not a person, but it's just a thing. It's just a walking performative will. There's not a prominent feature. It does not have a physical existence. It is just a will onto itself. Now, personality-wise, but for Chaos is that it views most, if not all, races as inferior and stupid, as it did not live up to its expectations, except for humans, as he sees humans more flawed and as its greatest creation, due to them being the ones closest to mirroring the will of Chaos itself. So he likes humans, mostly. You can see that by sticking close to Arthur. Now, of course, with Chaos abilities, as it is the most powerful entity in the series, surpassing both the Demon King and Supreme Entity, two of its creations in power alone, and of course transcends the physical existence as it being a sentient will. The power it has is immeasurable, since we have not seen the cap of it or seen Chaos stressed to the max of the power. Now, for in that, before Chaos was able to exist in the world, it was contained by Hawk's Mama, as Hawk's Mom was the original seal for Chaos, designed from the Demon King and Goddess herself. Now, when Chaos takes on Arthur Pendragon as his new vessel, Arthur himself is initially unaware of Chaos' presence within him and can only use his power unconsciously as he alters the reality around him. Subconscious beliefs, much to his shock. So he can use it pretty much anytime he wants. You can see when Chaos takes over when he has to take over fights against Meliodas or anyone stronger than him, as Arthur himself is pretty much a weakling considered to the top upper tiers of the Seven Deadly Sins universe. But when Chaos kicks in, it is able to defend its vessel itself, because if the vessel dies, Chaos basically can't exist in the world. And within that, he is able to just be a defensive mechanism, even though we may see later in the Four Knights Apocalypse manga, or even when the anime comes back, that we will see that Chaos has a will of its own and eventually may take over Arthur's body for good and pushing its own agenda and pushing its own needs, as we know Chaos will. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, I'm just talking about Seven Deadly Sins this week, as I want to show the show more love, appreciation. I really do like Seven Deadly Sins and Four Knights of the Apocalypse whenever I get a chance to read and watch the anime. So like, subscribe, check the anime out, I don't know, and I'll see you in the next one.